Hello and welcome to the STB Racing here, season 21 here for the British Grand Prix here for Tier 3 here at the circuit of Silverstone here, not too far away from Northampton or Northamptonshire. It's around there anyway, or something like that. But yeah, here we are at Silverstone here. Many car manufacturers' factories are spaced around Silverstone. Aston Martin's factory is literally just across the road. So, obviously, a very local track to many teams and drivers. Excited to see we're going straight into qualifying as just like we have in the last two races. We've got sprint qualifying. It's a dry qualifying for the first time this week. It was wets. It was intermediates in Tier 1, full wets in Tier 2. Finally got some dry session for qualifying. We're on Danger Max. I know he'll be near the front. Into turn 3, farm into the loop of turn 4. Maybe like take a tight license, take a wider line. Again, exiting out through Aintree, flat out through here. DS open as soon as possible. Now into Brooklands we go. As you can see on that stand, it says Brooklands there, easy to recognise. 50 metres more, you brake and turn in. Get the car rotated. Short switch maybe into third. Second is not recommended. Fourth, short switch into fifth for danger man. Carry as much speed as possible, but easy to lose your rear end through there. Some power, cops. A little bit of a left in these cars, not quite flat out. Don't have quite a downforce back in the previous generation of cars. Just on the seventh, just to get a bit of extra acceleration out of the corner. Now, it's about committing the speed here. It's about commitment, not cutting. Not quite the recommended amount of user curve is. Not quite maximise that corners quite effectively. Out of Chapel, now down the Hanger Straight. Coming to Stoke. Now, down strips off maybe down to 6th, maybe 5th gear. Oh, he's run completely wide. Dangerman's off wide. He's lost a place there to McKindo into the failed chicane. Nicely done. Dropping to 5th into Club. Onto the Hammerstone Straight for a very short blast to the line. McKindo comes out of nowhere to set pole position at 28.227. Callum with a 28.4. Moncho with 28.6. Angel with a 28.7. So, very interesting. Just waiting for Matador. There we go. So Matador must have a mistake somewhere. But like I say, when even though you've span, if your lap time's still valid, you might as well just go to the end, complete the lap, because even though you span, he's still going to start P12 ahead of the disqualifiers. So here is your qualifying results into the sprint qualifying. Just be aware, if I do end up going out for a bit, I'm still suffering with a bit of COVID. And my nose gets affected quite badly, which then kind of fucks up my throat a little bit. So I do tend to get a little bit of crap in the back of my throat. So I do end up stopping. It's mostly because I'm either clearing my throat or blowing my nose. It's one of the two reasons. McTindo, pole position for Callum, follows in P2 on the front row of the grid. Moncho P3, Dangerman P4, Kazari P5, Mando P6, Fred P7, Kwan P8, Rafita P9, Sam P10, Rishi P11, Master P12, Tekers 13th, Alpha P14, Fernando P15, Chaos P16, and I think it was Sans P17, if I'm not mistaken. The session will not start in 0 seconds. I can guarantee that. Right, here we go. Delta's finally, time is coming down. So, yep. Everyone's on mediums. Not too surprised there. Oh, it's Calamon's, not Sant. Sounds like you were saying even here. Where's Sant? Oh, there, it's P10. Missed him. But yeah, mediums obviously have strategy. Hards, you can't use the hards because you need the hards for the race. You only get one set of the hards, and if you do on the hards, that's it. You've ruined the strategy for the race. You're going to finish for finishing last. The softs just don't last long enough. They can make it 8 laps, but the 9th lap you'll just be dead. Fernando has just done that, so he will probably struggle at the very end. Because you think you could make them go longer than the graph says, but Silverstone, it's not the case. Your tyre wear is actually quite relative to the graph around this track. Most tracks you can actually get away with extending the stint about another 3 laps or something. But here, your mediums can literally only go about 13 laps. The hards could do about 16, 17. This is a race 1, so King don't take the big cardboard, and he has. But, yeah, so that's how it is. So, yeah, so the softs I'm going to work out. You might be very quick for the first like 4 laps, but after that, the softs start falling away. According to the graph, after your 4th lap, the softs are slowing the mediums. So it's kind of pointless, to be honest. You actually end up losing less because by lap 4, you've got another 5 laps to still navigate around on slower tyres. And naturally, we'll be puncture territory. I did race runs on the mediums, and by lap 13, including the formation lap, they were 75%. So yeah, the softs and the mediums can do about half a lap. That's why you can't do softs to mediums around here. The mediums can only just do about half race distance themselves. You can do softs to hards, but it's about a second slower. But it's probably a bit more than that because those softs probably dramatically fall off more than you expect. And using those softs during the formation lap in the race, it's just a waste of the soft tyres. You do more. You do 10% of its tyre wear just during the formation lap. It's a waste of tyres. That's why a lot of people tend to like to go on a hard tyre for the first stint because you lose less. You lose less. Obviously, you get more chance to use more tyre in the second stint. Danger Man disqualifies. Obviously, incorrectly parking the car on the grid. Everyone's on the same. Tekker's also Matador also failed to park in the grid slots. I mean, it's not too honest, it's not that difficult. I don't know how to get it wrong. If you can get people to try and do it at literally the last minute, but you just can't do that. Anyway, glitch starts on our end. It's now lights out the way we go for here for the sprint race of Tier 3. First sprint race of Tier 3 is a Williams with a good start. That's Esmeralda. Oh, it's car sprint. That's Dangerman. Dangerman is round. He's dropped down to the dead last. He's not even got past the finish line almost. He's already round. That's the sprint race over. That's him starting P17 if there's any retirements, if not higher. Tekkers is round as well. And they've also got Rafita in the Alpine, also round. Chris Hamilton moments here. From 2018. And Sense round as well. At Aintree. Maldis had a great start, put in P2. To number 69. Working well. Nice, used to hold it there. If you can say behind Mikindo, it takes him in a great position to get in the race for the race. Now, flying to Magnus and Beckett's now. We've got Fernando on these softs looking very quick. Obviously, like I say, he has to make this move as quickly as possible. These tyres will drop off very quickly. This tyre is a qualifying tyre. It's not a race tyre at all. Looks like the Ferrari's using lower wings. All that ERS for absolutely nothing. Got Hunt using a very alternative line through there. Fernando's got the move. He's done a straight out move here on Matador. He's got the move done. Now Distry's next one to try and get past. Mike Taylor leads away with Maldi and Callum behind him. Obviously no danger man to worry about. Moncho and Maldi's surely definitely clearing that flying that Williams flag high at the moment, helping them in the championship. And we get points for the top 8. 8-1 for the top 8. So Oh, Maudi in the moment there. He's got on the curb. Too much power on the curb. Giving him a better moment. Some more moves going in the back. Gets Tekers. He's round again. He's obviously... He's not picking his overtakes very well. This is the second time he's spun around. Mega Spec, it's his go. It's on Spadell a little bit. Got a couple of groups here. Got this little group at the front here. Maldi's just... He needs to keep within DRS here. He's had to use a lot more overtake to keep up with Nintendo. Nintendo's still got 73%, but Maldi's got 20-30% or less. But this Maldi is going with a bad arm. He's had his vaccines. He's softening a lot. Oh, Maldi's mounted the curb. And that's certainly going to help him. Callum's going to make a move onto this SC Maldi, and that's giving Nintendo more of a gap. That's got rid of that DRS gap there. Nintendo's got a solid 7/10 ahead of Callum now. So no DRS for any of these guys. Well, 4 just for Callum now. Maldi will get DRS on Callum. Looks like Nintendo's running away with this. And Maldi is just a sprint. And it's better to finish one position down from the position you want to be in than 15 positions down. Better to be 3rd and 15th than trying to go for the move and then mess it up. Just get the place. He's already a better slot than he was in qualifying, so he needs to look at it. He needs to look at it at the good side. And his bosses don't do that very often either. That's going to give him a warning. And penalties, it's going to affect your qualifying position, especially if the gap's going to be like close like this. Maldi gets a penalty. He's going to drop 2 places. Callum picks up the first penalty of the day. Fernando's tyres are probably already feeling the hit. He's like I said, they've done the formation lap. Those tyres are probably about 35% worn already. I will not be surprised. They've probably got another 5 laps to them, max. And also got Juan right in the back of Callum here, pushing Callum into the penalty. Callum's struggling to keep up with Batindo, and that's Fafita around. Daniel says fast up the race, showing he's still got pace at the back there, despite his spin at the start of the race. Screen through to P11, so he's needs to keep committed there. Even though he had a spin, he knows he has the pace over this midfield group. So I think he can probably get up to probably about P8. Maybe he can probably get Fernando when his tyre drop off. But I don't think getting much higher than that. Might be a bit of a struggle to get F1 and Alpha a little bit further ahead. Callum's picked up a penalty, that's not good. He's going to lose 4 places if he doesn't pull away. So this is going to be a hefty penalty for the start of the race. Maldi's trying to defend. Maldi's winning quite high downforce, I think. Getting passed by his teammate now. Right, Maldi falling back now. Now looking to get through, but Moncho's now out of DRS on Callum. So Callum's managed to get away. Callum's managed to find some pace. Actually closed that gap down by a 10th or 2 on Nintendo. And when looking at that gap with Fernando, you see that time's just gone down by about 3/10. Those tyres are already going off. Now Kazari's looking in the back of Maldi now. Look how close he is. This isn't Maldi's favourite circuit. Like I said, he's got a bad arm with that vaccine we had earlier this week. Not doing any good either. Doesn't shut up about it. That's one thing. Now, it could be worse. Could be using the steering wheel, which contains have the use of the whole arm instead of just your fingers. And actually, you decide to do steering actions with the controller when you're using the controller, which is just retarded. Now I just have the DRS. We had a terrible exit, and Kazari has rapid straight line speed. Now he's got nothing to do with it. He hasn't got the DRS to really defend. He's going to see back up the inside here. Kazari might have to back out here. Oh no! He's off the rear end. He's actually used Maldi as like a little rotation device to help him actually straighten himself back up. He's got Calaman's all over the back of Dangerman. I think Dangerman's actually just gone past him. To say Dangerman is to say he would probably get P8. Well, he's got a couple of laps. He really is flying. He's got DRS, which within them Callum doesn't. There's yellow flags. That's Savita. But talk about DRS. Callum, I think I must have done a mistake because his Callum's now right at the back of White Tendo. Callum showing pace, but he is carrying that penalty. He has got a nice gap now to Moncho, which is constantly getting bigger, so he's only P3 now effectively at the moment. I'm sure he can get that gap a bit more up. He needs to stop doing that. That's giving him warnings there. He needs to get the car slowed down a little bit more. He's supposed to just get the car down slowed a little bit more for the entries of cops, and then as soon as you know you've got that corner, then he can fall back down again. Like, just be a bit careful. Right, DRS. For the Mercedes driver, Sands picked up a penalty as well. Not going to help him. Callum's really closing the lack of Bittinder now. 3 laps to go in the sprint race. This guy's light flashing. He's low on the ERS here. He's obviously used a lot of ERS. But Tender's got 86% to use, so he's got plenty to splash and dash. Don't know why you say that much actually. The overtake's really helping him. This Cam's not unable to gain any time at all. Maldi's now struggling to keep within 1 second of Moncho. Seventh round at Club down the Hamilton Straight. Callum's lost a bit of time here. Callum's pretending to use a bit of ERS. Callum is pushing his front a bit more than Mike Tendo. Mike Tendo's keeping it clean, which is crucial. Callum Tendo can absolutely drain this ERS now. Oh, Maldi's lost place to Kazari. Kazari got past Maldi. Maldi just not quite have the pace of these leaders. He's got the pace of over Alpha and Red, but just not quite the pace over the Mercedes guys. And Kazari's had a bad exit. Maldi's going for the move here. Sideways into turn 1. Maldi's had to cut the corner. He's given the penalty, and that is not worth it, Maldi. He's now pushed off Kazari. What's Maldi doing? Now Kazari's back up the inside. Maldi's back up the inside into the loop. Kazari side by side with Maldi. Maldi's picked the penalty, and Maldi's certainly lost his position now. Kazari's going to breeze past Maldi down the Wellington Straight here. DRS open up the inside, back into 4th place, but they lost like 3 seconds of that battle. More yellow flags. That's for Feith and Sands. They're just having they're having their own disco at the back there to see who can do the most spins. Feith has now picked up a 10-second time penalty to track limits. I think that's probably a bullshit penalty. Danger is going to get past referee up the inside of the cops corner. He's round wide. He was still getting a warning for that. Regardless of what you're trying to do, you have to lift off. You can't like navigate your way through. Because I put the penalties on. Maldi's going to be loving that. Maldi needs to find a way back through again because I've run out of DRS, but so has Maldi. But Maldi still has a DRS regardless. He's He's going to make a move. He's going to inside here. Back up the inside. He's a very tight apex. Kazari's going to go right round the outside. He's going to keep it within the track. He's got warnings to play with now since he's just got that penalty. And he's got the position back over Maldi. Maldi unable to get the P4 back. But they need to be careful. That gap is 3.1. No, 2.8. Now, so Maldi's going to be losing places here. Both of them are going to be losing places if they're not careful, if they keep battling. Look at the hope that Danger battles Alpha. Tries losing some time, but these guys are losing time constantly with a battle. These guys are losing positions here because of this battling. Clemens picks a penalty, so that's a lot of place to Fernando. Those tyres are holding up quite well, but you can see now that they're really coming off play now. These tyres are going to be absolutely shot. His tyres saying they're going to do 8 laps. And he's done the formation lap on them as well. He's done 9 laps on those now. It's 10th lap on those. Not being able to get anywhere. Fetus starts spun again. Hando's got a load of ERS to play with, that's why. And this is penalty, that's actually not going to do anything. He's 7 seconds ahead of Distry. Mike Tendo, he'll come round, he'll pick up 8 points to win the sprint race, or the sprint qualifying. Is this a fast lap as well with it? Doesn't get a point for that though. Calum actually dropped down to 3rd. Moncho did really well to actually catch up there. Kazari picks up P4. No, he won't because with Danger on P4. There you go. Manifit drops down to P7. All that battling. If they just stopped battling and just if Maudi just let Kazari go, Kazari would have been 4th and Maudi would have been 5th. That's how much battling. They should have stopped battling because they end up losing more places than it actually was. Kazari ended up still getting 5th, even though he was trying to battle for 4th. Maudi trying to battle for 4th, and even though he could settle for 5th, he dropped down to 7th. So the battling did not help either of them, Maudi especially. We got penalties. You can't battle when you got penalties. Sand and Vita just they don't seem to like the circuit we are, how much as it seems. That's the completely the wrong line. Sand and Vita really their own calibre these two are. They really are. Alpha, well, say driver of the day, then you get driver of the day for the sprint race. I didn't even know that's I can't remember. But yeah, here are your results for the sprint race. McTenno got 1st, he will start 1st for the race, not pole position. He will start on the 1st place, not pole position. Pole position is for your qualifying lap. He did for your 1 shots. Moncho P2, Callum P3, losing out to the 2nd place at that penalty. Danger on P4 after gaining 2 places. Kazari P5, Alpha P6, Maui drops down to P7. Efram had P8, Fernando P9. Those shots managed to hold on well, but didn't exactly doing good. History P10, Megalon's P11, Kartek is P12, Mochkonos P13, Khan P14, Matador P15, Sanat P16, and Mafrita P17, about 7 seconds from being lapped. Here is 3 sunny sessions. We've had 2 wet sessions this week in Britain, both in qualifying. Very surprised. I was expecting at least one of these races to be wet. But computer says no. So drivers now will be sorting what we need to do. Obviously part format is in place. No, I don't think there is a just disables it again after the sprint race. I don't think it does that. But yeah, be interested to see. If I think what driver I think might win today, if it will allow me to actually go on race direct, it never works the first time. Tendo is on the hard. Can's also on the hards. Kazari is also on to the hard. Referee is also into the hard. I'm gonna say Danger Man. Danger Man. I know he's on an alternate strat. He's on a different strategy for a lot of the leaders at the moment, but his pace in that sprint qualifying was insane. He was very quick throughout the whole session, even after the sprint. He was very, very quick, and I can't forget the race director. I'm having this glitch that Maudi had. Yeah, I've been completely kicked off the game. I hate that bug. When you go onto the race director, it completely crashes the game out. If I'm quickly joining through Maldi. Okay, before anyone else joins. Sorry about this, it's just a bug that always happens. I was looking at the race director when the race formation lap starts, it just takes you out or just stops you. I couldn't get out, there was no B button. Get into it, and you quickly get back on. Joining session now, here we go, there we go. Spectate. So back in, so hopefully we should get in just before they, just as they line up onto the grid. Hopefully should be going down around, probably about Chapel by about now. Here they are. Yep, they're just going around the last sector. So got in just in time. Moncho's down to Pete. Why Moncho now? Have they been disqualified from the whole thing or something? This is it's P2. Yeah, he's disqualified. It's put him down to last, and that's just because I've come back. I hope that's the case. I think it's just because I've came in late. He's also been disqualified. Yeah, you're not parking your car properly. You can't risk it. There's no point trying to get an extra inch. It's not worth getting the extra inch. It's not worth it. I'd rather be about half a metre off the line than about 5 feet. Hopefully all going to get Moncho back up to second. There we go. The lights are coming up now. Now it's 3 lights for them. Now it's lights off and the way they go. Now lights out. And away we go at 10. They get to a start. Oh! What's happened to Moncho? He's lost the rear end and he's caused a massive moment. Now there's a Ferrari and that's Martinez and Ferrari. Moncho, Rafita's gone. Rafita's out of the race. Not that's going to make any difference to this race. Canon's also round. There's been a massive crash here. This is very similar to chapter 2, tier 2, where the one car retired at lap turn 1. Mercedes, that's Danger Man. No, Danger Man. Just as well I thought he would praise him. He can't get away with the spin. Now he's having to build everything back up and get everything back up again. And we get back into leaders. Maudi's now leading. God knows how that's happened. Moncho's down to last. So that's one place. Kazai must have the bad start. Right, Tendo must have the bad start. Cannon must have the bad start. I think Moncho must have caused all that. It caused a big kerfuffle. And Maudi just obviously picked up the pieces. So Maudi's had a brilliant start, but after his race pace, it's not going to help it. But he's on the mediums, so he needs to push to try and build that. He needs to build a gap up, otherwise his mediums become useless. So if I was Callum Kazari, I wouldn't really try and push from overtaking Maudi because, well, you probably might still want to anyway. But if you do, you're not really getting much because Maudi will just lynch onto him anyway. Especially on the softer compound tyre. That's all on sauce, which you can do it. It's just a bit, you just get yourself compromised later on in the race. Maudi leads the way. Tech has lost multiple places. He's round. There's been another collision. Tickers can't get away from these collisions coming. Right in the pits to focus front wing, so is Alpha Z. That's just a change of tyres. I'm not even sure why that pit stop is even necessary for. Maldi leads the race. Callum second, Kazari third, Matindo fourth. Definitely shaken up and not stirred. Fernando, pretty quick. He's on his mediums though. He needs to find some places here because he's losing pace. He's been stuck behind these hard runners. Especially F1 Red, because F1 Red doesn't quite have the pace. I think Fernando's will be fighting F1 Red today. I don't think Fernando will be fighting the leaders. Fernando just doesn't quite have the pace of that top 5 or 6 if you include Danger and Moncho. Callum on his hards, despite running his hards, is quicker than Maldi. So even with a half a second tyre advantage, Maldi does not have the pace to stay ahead of the leaders. Dangerman's shown his pace early on again. Maybe a bit of overtake. Nice, 83%. That's just pure on pace size. Maldi's defending. I don't know why. Alpha picks up 5, but it's the second time he's pitted this race. What's he doing? I'm confused. Fernando's looking very close to the F1 Red here. But again, DRS should enable him now. So it should make his life easier, and so will Callum. Callum now will get a daily dose of his DRS. Maldi's using all of his overtake, and Callum's not using any. He's on the grass. He's on the grass. That's not going to help him go into this corner. Oh, and he's around. Maldi didn't give him sufficient grip. There might be a bit of car's width, but he was compromised on the apex there. He didn't get himself back out wide, and obviously Maldi he did give a car's width. It was just the way the lines connected. Callum's line was with the Cotto and Maldi's. Callum, I think he might have to have backed out a bit more there, to be honest. Didn't have the car alongside Maldi on into the apex. Maldi gave him room, but he had the right to take that line. He's ahead, but he didn't take the racing line, Maldi. So difficult to say, but I don't think that was Maldi's fault. Yes, it was aggressive, but there was a gap there. But with the grass on his tyres, it would have definitely compromised his grip, because that grass does make you lose quite a lot of grip on the car, so it will give him quite a lot of understeer. So he didn't take that into account. Now he's down into P8 now with a monster time to catch back up, and his teammate Dangerman's not too far behind. Dangerman's just got past all his group. We've got Sant, who's actually getting past Tekers here. Tekers has already used all his overtake, but I don't know why. Tekers got no rest at all. He's sending himself wide. Oh, Mercedes, that's Dangerman. Up inside the Matador. Oh, and they've collided. Oh, and Dangerman, he mounted the curb. Oh, what's he doing? I got disqualified for that. He's going to the pit lane, but for what? I think he's retiring, I think. I think there might be a retirement. Yeah. giving up. I mean, Matador did nothing wrong there, gave him plenty of room. Dangerman, he just mounted the curb, understeered into the Ferrari. That was completely on his own. Should have been a bit more patient, if not a bit more careful at least. You know what happens when you class those sausage curves, they just bounce you back onto the track. Oh, and Alpha's gone. Even on the softs, he can't seem to stop spinning. Maldi, he's got the lead, but Nintendo's now got back within DRS of SNR. The detection point is right on the apex of that of the right-hander Maggot. Out of Chapel now. He does have DRS, he'll use that to close in on the part Brazilian, part Portuguese, part Brazilian, part Spanish, part Ukrainian, part English, whatever. Driver, Mike Tendo, closing up on him. Just definitely helps him close up behind the poor last sector though. Tickers around the outside of Sant. Got the move done. Bit of clashy there, but I think it's just Sant understeering. But at least he managed to save it. That's the thing with Dangerman, he doesn't seem to catch these slides very well. I've had a few instances with him with Dangerman in the last game. Back when he was in tier 2, bloody hell, voice break. No, it was last year. It wasn't last game. It was 2020, wasn't it? I don't know. Anyway, Moncho looking to get itself back into the race. Oh, and that's aggressive by Sant and Juan here. Juan's got picked up a penalty. That's very aggressive driving between the two rival drivers, and I'm sure Christian Horner's getting Red Bull V8 era vibes. I think Juan's using a lot more high downforce because he's very slow on the straights. Gonna breeze past here. Oh! A Moncho out of nowhere! He's gone through the middle! And he's now around outside of Sant! And he's got the move done! Sant's trying to push him, but he's not going to have anything. Now Juan's going to follow him now. He's going to push Moncho, and now Sant's being bullied out of it, and Juan's bullied himself back through this, picked himself another penalty. Now Moncho's going to breeze past him. Juan's using, like I said, he's using high downforce. And he's just running back. Is this tier 2? I didn't know we were racing in tier 2. That's a different penalty. Crime will definitely be getting a penalty for that, 100%. He just drove into the back of him. He didn't pick damage for that either. Anyway, I'll question that later on in the race. Mardy will probably on the race around like that. Mike Tendo now is going to breathe on the straight line speed. It's an unusual trying to do a Callum this time. Mike Tendo's going wide. Mardy's on the stretch out move, but Mike Tendo, his hards are slowly coming to play. Mardy's going to outbrake him, cut across him, get the move back. How long can Mardy's handle this for? Nah, Mike Tendo needs to be careful. Kazaru behind him. Callum's still trying to find his way through. Currently P6. Now we're doing the SFF on red. Natal's in the pits. Being very slow. I think I don't think he knows where the pit limit is. Probably lost about 6 seconds doing that. Mike Taylor unable to get anywhere close to Maldi at this moment. No, he's taking an alternative line there. camera on the back of F1 yellow flags. That is Sant. He is round. They must have a clash with his teammates. I won't be surprised. So he's gaining. No ES used. Marley's gonna cough him. Oh, it gives me a bit of PTSD. Marley's had a bit of a moment. He's all over the place. Marley's going to go around the outside. He's going to compromise Marley's lines. He's going to do a switchback move here. Watch this. Oh, Marley's got it covered off. Martinez getting very close back in Maldi here. Kazara's kind of out of this battle at the moment because he's got a penalty. You just hope these two get a penalty and get penalties themselves. DRS again for the Alfa Romeo. Breaks early. Definitely differences in lines there. Now he takes a wider line, kind of hits in the apex early, gets a double apex. Well, Martin tends to keep one consistent radius around the corner. Kazai's keeping it close here. Keeping it tender on his toes. Maldi just seems to be struggling a little bit through here. It's not quite his best section. Tendo now, DRS slipstream again, overtake mode. Maldi's also using it, but not all of it. Now Mike Tendo's going to breeze past him. Maldi's had to give up the position, but it's not over yet because Mike Tendo's run a bit wide. Oh, Maldi had a little moment there. His car's a bit loose because his steer straight. He's up the inside, Mike Tendo. He's not giving this up, Maldi. He's had to give it up. He's not quite can't go around the outside there very well. Maldi needs to find another way through, but he needs to keep his head on because Kazari is right behind him. DRS open for the Williams driver. Might have to use an overtake just to keep that gap. And believe Maldi got very close there. I think that's Moncho round again. But that's just a spin this time, or another collision. I don't know. But I don't know what happened with. Oh, I do know what happened with Moncho and Juan. Juan is using a lot more high downforce, but doesn't mean he should be punting the people back of the 8 corners. Kazari's lost a lot of time here. Maldi's had a bit of chance to lift off at the cops there. Well, DRS to keep up with Tendo. That's all Maldi can do now. Hards are going to come into better time now as the laps go on. Time to pit for the soft front for the medium runners is around lap 11, lap 12. Lap 11 is what the undercut, lap 12 is the optimal point. But Maldi wants to pit a lap early just to get an extra lap of fresh tyres. Up to him. Few people in the pits now. Chaos in the pits. A very early stop for him. He'll be going to the hard tyres. Oh, and that's I think that was one of the guys going wide. It was Kazari. Having a moment there. It's not Maldi. Maldi's now out of DRS. I think that might be Maldi going wide. Maldi, I'll probably pick because he's probably going to lose time now with Kazari. Pennett's building that gap now. Kazari's got straight line speed, but he's using a lot of overtake to do that move. He's got the move done. Maldi can even stay behind, get some DRS. or you can pit. And he's pitting. He's decided, screw this, I'm getting an undercut. But if you're careful not to get speeding in it, there you go, 30 miles an hour. Or 50 kilometers an hour. Mind the pits, he'll be on set hard to the race. Get a bit of an undercut, but then he's going to be he'll be on the worst tyre at the end of the race. So no problem. Tekers is also in. And it's kind of leaves us with no battles. Everyone's spaced out here. See if Maldi gets out ahead of Juan or not. He might just be able to. And he does. That keeps him. He's got a lot of clean air Maldi now. It gives him about 2 or 3 laps to push before the other guys come in for the set of mediums. So, well, how powerful his undercut is. We will see. Obviously, he needs to get his tyres on up first. Sant in the pits. Comes out way behind Moncho. Interesting, when Juan pits, he'll be coming out around where Moncho is. That'll be interesting when I get back. You see Maldi struggling in his cold tyres. Alpha's actually catching him up here. And then it's catching to Kazari, which is a bit strange, despite being on effectively the worst tyres now. Kazari must have made a mistake somewhere. This reason I pitted onto a set of hards. I wouldn't be surprised if I see a couple of hard ones coming in this lap. But we will see. Still got DRS in there to catch up for Fernando. Yeah, flags. I think that might be that's Sponcho. Disqualified for going the wrong way. Yeah, not recommended. Fernando's in the pits. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. If you're trying to go in the pits, he's an idiot. Can't go backwards into the pits. Danger barely got away with that when he went to retire. Fernando will come out. Will he come out ahead of Maldi? That's the question. He does. The undercut has not worked. Maldi's actually lost a place to Fernando. So the overcut has worked. But don't forget, Fernando's got to get those tyres are very difficult to warm up. So it takes a good lap or two to warm them up. So yeah, you can see Fernando trying to warm them up there. So it'll be Fernando's turn to warm those tyres up. You'll see now how much that makes a difference. Maldi, he's a bit too late getting the power down at the Luffield. It's just, even when Fernando's on cold tyres, he seems to get a better exit out of Luffield. You know what Maldi's doing? I don't know why he's lifting off. The safety car. Wait, since when was the safety car? Since when did that come out? I never know. I was thinking, what the hell are they weaving around for? Does it say? I never saw. I didn't even notice. That's the whole time. I never noticed. I was thinking, why is Maddie lifting it off? That's why Fernando pitted, and that's why he's ahead of Maldi. There's a safety car the whole time. The disqualification, does that actually say it caused a safety car? I'm confused. And Callum's got a 5 second time penalty to be in the pit lane. That's not going to help him. But yeah, I was thinking, why? Well, how's Fernando got ahead of Maldi? Maldi has been ruined. Maldi could have pitted 2 laps later. He could have actually got a free pit stop. But actually, didn't think it made much difference. Actually, if Maldi stayed, if he actually pitted the same lap as Fernando, Maldi would actually be P1 right now. But now he's on 2 lap holder tyres. And he's directly now going to have, well, actually, no, he's going to get F1 Red. F1 Red actually now picks up P3. F1 Red's in a very solid place here. He's got the pace to keep it. So actually gives Maldi a bit of a, Maldi and Fernando actually a bit of gap now. Because now that Nintendo and Kazari pitted the mediums, but because they've come out in P7, P8, it's going to be difficult. And I'm sorry, Callum, but those tyres are not going to go to the end. They'll get you about lap 24 if you're lucky. Maybe lap 25 because you've got a safety car. Yeah, his tyres don't do very well. Probably a short safety car as well because Callum's is not too far from behind. It will catch up by the end of probably the next lap. Oh, attackers, you're going way too hot. Slow down. Bloody hell. Yeah, Chaos managed to split Kazari and Nintendo it. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out. Anyway, safety car's out, and it took me literally Alpha's disqualified. What's with people trying to go backwards into the pit lane and disqualify themselves? Why are people trying to do that? What makes you think you can go backwards on a circuit? This is not no rules race. Anyway, current orders: Fernando, Maldi, F1 Red is on the mediums, District Takers on the hards. Then we've got Nintendo on the fresh mediums, Chaos on an older set of hards, Kazari's on a fresher set of mediums, Callum's on a set of softs that won't go to the end. Juan, who is probably due a 20-second time penalty with that collision with Moncho, will probably finish last by the end of this. Sant, P11 on a bit of an older set of hards, and then you got Master and Calamons on a fresher set of mediums. So for Chaos, not looking good, and same with Techers. Or well, anyone with a penalty really, but Callum's got a 5 time penalty to worry about as well. So Callum, it doesn't look like he's going to be winning this race. I thought no, it won't be even in the podium because these tyres will not go to the end. Safety car should hopefully be coming in this lap. And I just realised that Canamon's, he's a lap down. Fernando will lead this way. He will be the effective safety car. See when he goes. He's gone now. He's gone just before the chicane. Oh, actually, he's only accelerated his brakes again. Not sure he can do that or not. But now he's gone. He's gone now. Now he's going to keep up with him. He's going to watch out. And this street is round. There's been what's going on here? Why is everyone getting legal overtakes? That's what's going on. The legal overtakes. Mathdor, not sure what he's doing. Callum's got 10 time power to exceed the track limits. He's now ghosting. He's 2 minutes 30 behind apparently. A bit more football going on here. It's actually really helped the leaders here because it's now giving a massive gap to Tendo. Got a big gap to catch up here. Red's in a very good place here. He's on better tyres. Yeah, Fernandez picked up penalties as well. Is this Maldi's time to win maybe? Out of nowhere? But you could not take out Tendo and Kazari out of the equation. These guys on better tyres out of everyone here. Done COVID. Also picked another penalty. Callum's also picked another penalty. That's Callum. That's just put him in his place. Yeah, he's on softs, but those tyres. Go on now, right? Go on to EI or something. Because, yeah, Callum's out his race. He's not going to start at the end. You wouldn't get the tyres to the end even if you pitted for softs now. Or it might do actually, but they'll probably be very bad. All Manny needs to do is to stay within Gas and Fernandez. All he's got to do. I mean, can't be that difficult, right? Like Hendo. Let me just compare pace here. What did Fernando just do? A 32.1, and it's including the penalty and the warning, and it's not Tekker's, so I'm going Alfa Romeo. 21.5, so it's still like 8 tenths faster that was. So, but if he keeps going 8 tenths a lap, he'll probably catch up with about 5 laps to go. Fred's struggling to keep up here. Just doesn't quite, even though he's on the mediums, it just doesn't quite have the pace. You know, you've got people like Tendo and Callum, and sometimes Dangerman if he's got the pace of that race specifically. And then you've got people like Malby and Fernando, you know, that sole pace, and Mancho. Because I just picked another penalty as well, not good for him. And then you got people like F1 Reds and normally Alpha Z or something like that around there. You know, no battles, so Alpha Red's just not normally quite the pace. Malby's actually now out of DRS of Fernando. Must have been a very shocking second sector for Malby. He's now lost DRS here. Fernando used a lot of overtake. Callum's took the fast lap of the race on the soft side. Malby, I don't think he's got DRS there. I know from Red Bull. No, he doesn't. Had a really good loop though, but I think Fernando's using more overtake. Just to keep that gap. But yeah, we can't take a Red out of this equation, but I said the longer this goes on, the more his mediums do start to slow out more. Tekker's is round again, that's the third time I've seen him round. Twice at that corner. But watch out, it's Aston Martin going round up his inside, that's chaos. Got the move done. On the car, it's probably got some hot rear tyres. Now he's just unable to keep up with Fernando. But that's just the worst case scenario. He still needs to keep up with him within 3 seconds of Fernando. But this means Malby can't afford to get a penalty. And he's still got F1 Red to worry about as well. Oh man, right now, on the way Malby's losing time. Can't be losing rear end like that. Just gained 3 tenths through there. That was dirty. Just catching very quickly. Tendo notices. I did say about with about 5 laps to go. He's got 2 laps to catch up, 2.5 seconds to get that right. Callum's picked up his like 15th minute penalty. His tyre's not going to the end, and he's getting multiple penalties here. There's a virtual safety car, and that, I'm guessing it is for Calamon's trying to cause a safety car, but he's just, yeah. But he can't be anyway, because he's 2.5 minutes down. So if I was him, I'd just retire. There we go. A little bit reaction times. Maybe Maldi can get back into DRS if he gets this safety car correct. Don't leave too much of a gap, Maldi. What am I doing? What am I making such a gap for? Migrating host, Callum's left. He was effective host because obviously my game crashed, didn't it? I was thinking, well, if my game host, I forgot, yeah, I'm not the host. I was like, yeah, that race director glitch. Destiny and the Maldi's just bowled it. I don't know what he's doing. He has a terrible timing. Maldi's lost a second because of that. Idiot, Maldi. Idiot. You can't gain time down the straight on the virtual safety car. You have to gain it in the corners. As soon you should have floored it through Megas and Beckett's, but he didn't. Right. Maldi's just basically shot himself in the foot there, and soon that will be the head. Now Mike Tendo. Looking getting close to F and Red here. So Fernando looks like he might be on the road to win victory here, with 5.5 laps to go. Yeah, flags that Sant is round at Aintree at the start of the Wellington Straight. Another car around, that's Tekkers again. The 3rd time I've seen these moments at that corner at Brooklands. Now it's up behind Matador. He's obviously doing something wrong. Callum's tyres are probably already going off, and he's got about 15 seconds of penalties. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a puncture in this race if he doesn't pit. Mike Tendo's now right at the back of F1 Red now. Oh yeah, flags, I'm sure it's 4. To assume DRS for Mike Tendo, but you might have to wait another corner. F1 Red's got plenty of DRS to play with. So Mike Tendo, you wasted about 30% there, but it's got a lot better cornering speed. He's going to yeet it around the outside. Did he send it? Oh, he didn't. Don't send it. Up into P3. Just needs to keep ahead of him. F1 Red. F1's got plenty of areas to play with. So F1 Red can bring a surprise attack out of nowhere if he needs to. Callum. His tyres hasn't died out yet, but he's got plenty of penalties to play with. Sorry, he's got plenty of penalties but not many to get, to use, to need. A need for speed. I'm just rambling crap now. Neither of them can make a move because even neither of them got DRS. Not DRS, sorry, ERS. Oh, and Kazari. Having a bit of a moment. Very easy to lose around through Stowe if you don't do it correctly. Maldi's just about keeping himself within 3 seconds, but it doesn't look like it's going to be lasting for long. Fernando's actually used most of his overtake up, so he hasn't got much left to use. Maldi's still got some left, but they've still got Maldi here. Actually gained some time through there. It's Kazaro's turn. Try and get past F1 Red. But he's got no overtake. F1 Red's got plenty to play with. And Kazaro's got plenty. F1 Red doesn't. F1 Red looks like he might have his 4th place in the bag. Wants to keep it clean. Keeps it clinical. Looking for a decent finish, starting line driver. Hasn't been the greatest sector for him though. Lost a bit of time for there. Kazaro's looking very close. But F1 Red, like I said, he's got plenty of rest to play with. Kazaro can't do anything about it. Oh, he's got the eye. Don't do that to me again, please, Kazaro. Otherwise, I will purposely race into here for you one time, just take you out for that. Now he's still keeping up with Fernando here. He's keeping the pressure up. He's not got a penalty either. Something going on between Juan here. Side by side through Stowe into the rail chicane. These two ART drivers going through. Juan's got moved on, he's got better tyres, but his tyres will be going off soon. And then he being able to mix a penalty up, so that'll finish off that battle. Now he's got that gap down to 2.3 here. Despite being on older tyres, he's actually closing the gap down a bit here. He's got a bit of ERS to play with, like I said, he's got plenty of ERS. But Mike Tendo is right at the back of Maldi. I didn't realise how close he was until now. Maldi can be on victory here. But at the moment, it doesn't like. Oh, Mike Tendo's at the back of Maldi. Mike Tendo just didn't realise how much more Maldi struggles to that corner. Maldi has to lift off there. I think Maldi's trying to fight for his battle as much as Mike Tendo does. Oh, Mike Tendo's got a bit wide there. Not going to help him through his section. No, he's still got 3 lap fashion mediums. Maldi just needs to defend for 2 more laps. It's going to be difficult to do so with that tyre advantage that Mike Tendo does have. But he does have a bit of ERS to play with, but not much. Fernando's really pushing it on his ERS. It's going to help into Maldi's hands. Maldi just concentrating on going good exits and using that ERS effectively. The speed he's got, Maldi's not going to fight it, which is probably a clever thing to do. He might as well just try and make an overtake into the hanger straight. By saying that, like Tendo's going to be very quick there. Maldi's going to struggle through this section of the track. Yeah, Tendo's actually running out of ERS here. It's not going to actually help Maldi here. It's going to be very interesting. It's getting very tense. This is Mike Tendo's strongest part of the circuit. Maldi struggles a lot around here, even though with the DRS and ERS is not going to be enough for Maldi. Maldi might have to set down for P2 here. Even with the DRS, Maldi's only gaining about 8 miles an hour faster. Not a lot. I think Maldi's using quite high downforce, which is just not helping him. Oh, I was very close to warning there. If Maldi's going to make this move, he's got to make this move into the London straight. I don't see him doing it down the hanger straight. He needs to do this in the corner somewhere. Come on, Maldi, absolutely everything now. Nah, he hasn't got it. It's too far behind. He's had a poor exit. He's not making very smooth adjustments. Fernando's really struggling. Maldi's literally one place off a win here, and he's absolutely bossing it. He needs to catch up Mactendo by surprise. Mactendo's got near SF at all. Maldi's absolutely shone through there. That's Mateka's round again. Matt Talon's retired. I think he's got a puncture of some kind. I think he's out. I won't be surprised if he had a puncture. But Maldi's picked up a penalty. Never mind. That's Maldi's first place 100% out of the window. Unless you can start seeing right on the side of Nintendo, but I don't think it's going to happen. Maldi will have to settle for P2. Fernando will come round. He will not be the winner. He will come in second place. Nintendo will be a victory. Your victor person here. He will win the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. Fernando picks up P2. Maldi will have to settle for P3 in the end. He was on for P2, but the penalty, last lap penalty, got him. F Red P4, Kazara P5, Chaos coming down in P6, Chuan P7. His position will definitely be reviewed after that with Moncho back at turn 1. Distri P7, actually it'll be Mathol P7, Distri P8, Juan P9, Tekas P10, Sant P11, and Dinos for Calamons, Dangerman, Rafita, and 2 disqualifications, so I'm going backwards into the pit lane. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting race. Definitely some questionable racing at some point in the middle of that race. Definitely some action towards the end. Here's your total points. Mactendo getting the most points out of everyone in the end. So 14 points finishes in the end of this. Yeah, here are your race results. Mactendo in first, Fernando in P2, Maldi P3, Fernando P4, Kazara P5, Chaos P6, Matador P7, Distri P8, Juan P9, Descent P10, Atekas P11. Callum, I believe, might have got a puncture at the end there. Does a fast lap, but he's out of the top 10, so he will not get the point. And DNS were Calamons, Dangerman. Oops. Wrong one. Yeah, DNS are going to were Calamons, Dangerman, Rafita, Alpha Z, and Moncho. Moncho was probably the biggest, worst one, but they were actually disqualifications to try and get back into the pit lane. I'm going to try and invite Maldi to the party here. I'm also going to try and get Mactendo in if I can as well. I get Mactendo in as well. Right, Maldi. I'm going to interview you first. I'm going to try and get Mactendo in.
Okay.
So obviously you can close your audio if you can. Maldi, it looked like a very interesting race for you. You decided to commit to the mediums to hard, so for a few people around when trying to go for the alternate strategy. And also you had a few battles here and there, but obviously you had some battles early, obviously actually gaining a bit of advantage on the safety car at the end there, but just give us a race for you, especially on that sprint race as well, and on that main race as a whole as well.
Well, I just want to say well done to Mackendu, the winner. Had great pace today,
Might
but
tender.
yeah, I didn't get a very good one shot. I'm not. They're very good at Britain, so one shot was decent for me. I think I weren't too fussed. The sprint, I don't know what the fuck happened tonight. Sorry for my swearing, but my starts were on point. It was incredible. It was amazing. I nearly took out McIndo off the start of the race. It was phenomenal. I took the lead, but anyway, yeah, the sprint was good, but I fucked it basically in the race, so it was a little bit difficult. I think I got seventh in that. And then the race, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do what best I can. My strategy was always going to be medium to hards. So I think it worked out pretty well. I don't know what happened with Callum. I had some sort of collision with him. I think I nudged him to the inside, and then he tried to commit
Yeah,
and just hit my
yeah.
side
I
pods,
think he had,
unfortunately. Um,
yeah, he had a bit of grass on his tyres, which didn't help.
so yeah, it's just the way, sometimes when you're racing against your rivals, you have to be aggressive in defending. So if he wants to report that, that's fine. But I'm happy with P3. Much better than Canada. We'll go to Austria next week, one of my favourite tracks. So we'll see what I can do, and hopefully I can win.
Yeah, definitely well done for you, Maldi, especially on your probably one of the weaker tracks, but great race, never a doubt. Mike Tendo, if you can include Georgia, obviously, I'm not sure, can't remember how good your English is or not, but in the best you can, just give us a bit of a run through and how your race went, as well, including a bit of your sprint race as well.
Yeah, my the whole weekend was really good for me. I was first in quali. I won the sprint and the normal race. Full points, I think.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Including the fastest lap in the
Yeah,
race. But I think it was a pretty good weekend for me. And Silverstone is my favorite track, but that's really nice for me.
yep. Well, apart from that safety car, obviously you put you back a little bit, but obviously you make sure you work your way through the field very nicely. And like I say, you got 33 points, which is 1 point off 4 points, apart from the first fastest lap, which was done by Callum. But unfortunately, he retired at the end of the race there. But yeah, it was a great race for you then. Obviously, like I sprint race as well. So Max effectively went some points, you could say.
Sorry.
So well done there for your victory in both the sprint and in the main race. So very well to you.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
that'll be your race done. Well, that'll be this week done for here at Silverstone. It'll be going to Brain, if my brain works, Austria next week for another sprint race. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes next week in Austria as we return to the land of trees. So we will see you
Oh
then
yes,
at
yeah,
Tier
that's a good
1.
track that.
Tier 1 with Maldy back in the com box for Tier 1. So thank you very much for watching and see you next week.